guys, this is Ryan from Hill Games and welcome back to part 3 in our tutorial series on how to create RPG grid-based movement in GameSalad. So where we left up on part 2, we finished creating our collision right object, and as you can see it follows our player around the screen on our grid. So we're going to go ahead and create our up, down and left objects, and we're going to create our spawners for our player. This will be the final part of our tutorial series, so we'll add in our wall object. Again, this is any object that your player is able to collide with that you do not want your player to pass through. So we're going to add those into the scene just so we can see how the collision works. So I'm going to end our scene and let's go back to our actor menu. So we've done our collision right, so let's go into our collision right and we're just going to copy our behaviours. Okay, I'm going to navigate back to our inspector and let's do our left collision. So paste in our behaviours. Now we're just going to change the attributes that we need to. So we are moving left, and again remember that is minus, so we're changing our x-axis, our horizontal axis, to moving minus 128. So again, the next cell along. Our y stays the same. We're going to want to change our collision behavior, so we know what collider is actually experiencing a collision. So it's game, player collision, and this time it is left, so it's collision left. And don't forget the otherwise, we have our collision left as well. So game, collision left. Okay. Now the final rule here was around our visibility. Now this has no bearing on the collision at all, so that is fine. That is it for our collision. Now let's do the up collision. Again, paste in the rules. Now collision up takes place on the y-axis, so again x-axis we're going to take away the 128, leave x-axis how it is. And we're going to modify the y-axis, so game player y plus 128, because we're moving up, that is a plus. Again, we're going to change the collision object, so now it is game collision up. Don't forget the otherwise behavior, game collision up. And that is it for our up collision. Finally, we have our down collision behavior. So if we navigate back to the inspector window, we have our down collision. Again, paste in the behaviors. Again, we're moving on the y-axis and not on the x-axis. So remove the plus 128 from the x. And we're moving down on the y-axis. So this is minus 128. Or, sorry, the size of your grid. Again, I'm using a 128 by 128 grid. You may be using a different size grid. So enter your values in the corresponding fields. Again, click OK. And finally, we're going to change the collision actor behavior. So game collision in this case is down. So we're looking at collision down. So player, game, player collision down. And that is it for our rules. So we have player collision down for both of those. And now let's go and spawn these in our player. So back to our player actor, and we're just going to copy our spawn rule. Let's name this first to right. Let's create these from scratch. So spawn actor left, spawn actor up, and spawn actor down. Okay, so if I go ahead and preview, we should have up, down, left and right collisions. I've left our rule on to make visible, so we can see it. And they should follow our player around the screen, maintaining one cell of the grid. So if I click preview, you can see up is in the correct place, down is in the correct place, right and left are all in the correct places. You can see they follow our player around the screen, which is good. So we have grid-based movement. So let's go ahead and put some wall actors in. So I click back and click back again. So we're in our inspector. And you can see I have an actor called wall. Now I'm just going to drag some walls in and just place them around the scene. So I'm going to put one there. There you go. I'm going to put another one there. Let's put one there. Let's put one there. One there. Okay, so let's preview our scene. Okay, so let's test out our collisions. So my player's current square on the grid, I should be able to move up, left and right. So let's choose right. I should only be able to move one square, which I can, only move one square. I should be able to face down but not move down. Remember we added that behaviour in earlier. So face down, I can't continue to move. Let's try left and down and right and down, and in my corridor here I should not be able to move left and right. I should only be able to move up and down. I can face left, I can face right, but I can only move up and down. And you can see at all times, even when I release my key, it continues until it's got into the final grid space. So you can never get outside of your grid using this behaviour. The same way as Pokemon and Zelda work. Now, the up, down, left and right touch controls work in much the same fashion. Earlier on when we set these up, some of you may have noticed there's a mistake in the logic. Well, it's not so much a mistake, but it's more a usability thing. On a touchscreen device, when you're using a phone, typically when you're clicking up, for instance, you might want to move across to right without releasing your thumb. Currently, it doesn't work this way. We have to click it. Now, a very quick fix for that, and I'll show you how to do it now. If I click back, just go to our move controls. Let's choose the right button. Again, you have to do this on all of them. We're functioning on when touch is pressed. Instead of pressed, change this to inside. Let's do that quickly on all of them. Inside. Inside. And the final one is the up arrow. Inside. So if we preview now, if I move down, I should be able to move across, and you can see it works the way a touchscreen device would work. I can face the direction, can't continue to move in the direction. So finally, let's go ahead and turn off our show helpers attribute. So if I scroll down to show helpers, change that to 0, and we can see how it would look in your normal game. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use the keyboard controls, so I find it easier when working in GameSalad to use those. So you can see he's moving along as you would expect. Face the direction, can't move the direction. And if I let go during mid square, he continues until he's in the correct grid space. So you can never get out of the grid movement. Well, that's it for this tutorial, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Any feedback, any comments, anything I can do to make the tutorial better, or perhaps you want to see a different tutorial, feel free to like and subscribe. I will be updating new tutorials, and will be continuing to churn out RPG related tutorials as I move through my series. So thanks guys, thanks for watching.